Afternoon US, good evening UK, and welcome to Paranormal Path Peeps. And tonight we have Neil and Jane from the Paranormal Research Centre. How are you doing?
Hi.
We're
Hi.
both here.
We're
Yeah, it's been beautiful, hasn't it? Have you had a good bank holiday?
I am. I've not stopped working.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Different
And
things.
I think we'll probably mention a bit of that in a bit, won't we?
We can mention a bit of it. I'm not going to mention
Well,
the gas.
obviously, no, that's it.
I've been sorting the gas out as well. So
Oh, right, okay. So if you wanted to say a little bit about yourself or anybody who doesn't know, starting with a volunteer, Neil.
start with Jay. Oh, me.
Go on then.
I'm the owner of the Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley. We've been open about 5 years now, just over 5 years. We host paranormal evenings of our own. Jackie is one of our hosts, so we know Jackie's very well. She's been coming. How many years have you been coming up, Jackie?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. I first came up with Project Paranormal and Paranormal Hauntings, so Dave and Charlene. But that was an interesting night.
Yeah,
that's
and
when I met that dodgy box.
Yeah, and we just can't get rid of you now, can we?
I know you can't. It's just it's an amazing place with just like loads of energies, and it's so different from 1 minute to the next, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the good thing about it. I think if it's the same thing every night, I would be really bored with it, because I do get bored very easily.
Yeah, I've noticed. Keep moving things around all the time.
Yeah, I keep moving the rooms around, as Jackie says, but yeah,
including that dodgy clown.
Oh, that's a good clown, isn't he? I think he looks quite cool, the big clown.
Yeah, someone jumped the other night. That was quite funny. So, if you don't know, Neil's got a room and it's got all dolls and clowns in it. But within that, there's another little space and it's got a full-size clown in it. And it looks like there could be a person hidden in it, ready to jump out at you at any time. So, yeah. It surprises people.
Creepy. That's the whole idea. Just go in with the torches and just catch him as you go panning along. It's funny. I wouldn't like it, I must admit, but I don't do it.
Yeah, and Amanda moved it the other night. So they just opened the door and it was right in the faces.
I thought he'd been moved.
Yeah, he had. So, Jane, say a bit about yourself then.
Yep, so my name's Jane Rowley. I've been working with Neil for probably about 12 years now, something like that. I'm the resident medium of the centre, so I do work very closely with all the objects, and I do help Neil along with the lives and all the other things that he does. I've been seeing spirits since I was a child, so I've done a lot of work with spirit.
That's been a few years now, then, isn't it?
It has.
Yeah, you started off on events. Well, you did do public events at one stage, didn't you?
Yeah, well, how we first met was we went to a paranormal event, and I went with my daughter because my daughter wanted to go, but she didn't want to go on her own. And the same for Neil. He went along with his son because Neil's son and my daughter were friends at the time. And we sort of ended up at this same event. And that's where I first met Neil. And it was a while after that, Neil started his own paranormal company.
Wow.
And later on, I joined the group as a member of the team. And it all just sort of went from there, really. So we've done.
And we look back, haven't we?
Yeah. So we do lots of things. We go to people's houses and help people with issues, paranormal issues in the houses. So we do a lot of work at the centre. So it's good. It's I think it's a good relationship because it works well. We don't work with ego. We don't. It's very easygoing. So we've always worked really well together.
Yeah, you've got that chemistry between you, and it's something you can't buy. It either happens or it doesn't. And you've got it, and you can work together, and you know how each other works, and you complement each other. And that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah, the main thing is I trust Jane 100%. If she says that there's a spirit of a boy over there. I don't question it. I just know that there's a spirit. What she's saying. So that's important to me.
Yeah, and I know that I trust Neil as well. So I know, when we work together, it is done in honesty and truth, and there's no bullshit. There's no greed. So it just works really well.
But that goes for Amy and Ant as well. The two members of the Haunted Antiques team.
Yeah.
We trust them totally, and that's why they're part of this place.
Yeah.
Same as you, Amanda, and Kathy, the main hosts. I trust you totally, so that's why I leave you looking after the guests.
Thank you.
So I don't need to get involved in that. I just welcome the guests, and then I tend to go home. If Amy's up here, I'll go home.
Well, why not?
Especially lately because of our latest project, which we'll mention later, I think.
Yeah, it's already come up, and that can't wait for Rocky to start up and watch. So we will go into that in a bit, in as much detail as possible.
I can't actually read the comments; they're so small.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
I think one of the nicest things with sort of working alongside Neil is the fact that we always come up with these sort of ideas and experiments and everything else that we want to do. And in the past, when we've come up with all these ideas, it's always been a case of, should we try this? And it's always like, yeah, let's go for it.
Brilliant.
Never been any, no, I don't want to do that, or no, that's too weird, or that's not the path we want to go down. And because of that, we've progressed so much with stuff that we've been doing, because I feel that we've been guided by spirit, and because of that, we've been on this path, and we've just gone full steam ahead and just done everything we want to do.
That's the best way, though. Like so many people do the same thing, and it is the way. Like, somebody sees an experiment, so they try it. Fair enough, and if you get evidence, that's great. But you're trying different things, and you've got the place where you can do that as well, which is brilliant. And it's kind of a safe place, and everything's contained there as well, isn't it? So all good. So
about some of the things we try would probably be a bit questionable by people, but we do have this, we have this sort of agreement between ourselves that we all know the risks, and whatever we try, we do it, fully knowing the risk. And each one of us, we watch each other, and if there is any risk, we can step in. If not, they just, we just go with it, don't we?
Carry on, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear a strange noise. Is that your end?
No, that's Evan with his mixer.
Oh, that's Evan, bless him.
That's downstairs
as well. And it's Evan's birthday today, so wish him a happy birthday if you see him.
Any longer.
Oh, it's just great what you do. I'll just do a quick shout out then. Hi to Mort Ali, Eric Thompson, Irina Kiko, Charles Rudd, Annette Locke, Sarah Edwards, Jeanette Bean, Val Egan, sorry Val, rubbish pronunciation, Chris Parbury, Matt Matty, Ames is watching, Nigel, hi Nigel, how are you from North Pole? Nick Matty says, there's no right or wrong in paranormal, no harm in trying different things, we're all learning together. And that's right, isn't it? But the thing is about you as well, you share your experiences.
Yeah.
You do your experiments, you show people what you're doing. And, if people want to try it, that's fine.
Yeah, and I do write regularly for the Haunted magazine, so a lot of our stuff has gone into there, and we've shared a lot of the stuff in the magazine that way. Yeah,
that is great, just to do things like that. I've got Ames, no demon has ever been hurt in the making of any of our experiments we've done.
It's very true. Well, we used to do everything as a live feed, because then we can't fake during a live feed. You can't fake anything anyway. Not that we consider faking anything. Plus, it involved people. But now with our latest project coming up, we're not doing so many. Well, we're not doing a live feed for quite a few weeks now since we start planning this Ghost Planet Network. However, when Ghost Planet Network starts, we will be able to do live streams on there. So perhaps we will, going forward, do some live stream specials of some of the shows that we do.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. The thing is, for a while, I've been disillusioned with the sort of Facebook platform and other platforms because, at the moment, they're taking accounts of people.
Yeah.
Like Wes Coleman, Canada, he lost his account. And other people are losing their account for no reason, or they're getting scammed, like Irene as well was watching. She lost her account. And, there's no safety, is there? So if you've got a group, you need to protect it as well. And, it's a lot of hard work. And then it's a number thing, isn't it? Where Facebook tends to distribute certain people more than others, depending on
depends
stars
on
and things.
Yeah, if you, when you do live feeds, if you ask for stars, Facebook are obviously making a lot more money out of that, so they will push them people more than us, because I will not go down the stars route.
Yeah.
That from day one, because Facebook make a damn sight more money out of the stars than the team does.
Well, that's it. And I know, like, anyone watching the live will see that the stars on mine. I can't get rid of them.
No, it comes up every time.
They'll put it on all accounts, haven't they? I don't even know how to get rid of it.
No, you can't.
I don't want anyone giving me any stars, because you're not giving the content person any stars at all. So it's like...
It's got a few thousand, isn't there?
Yeah, I think
it's got to be thousands.
Something like 10,000. Facebook get the first 10,000 stars or something, and then the team get some sort of payment after that.
Yeah, that's it. Is it $100 or something? But off the cut, I think you get like 5p in the. I'm not saying it is like 5p in a pound or something stupid, don't you? Whereas Facebook get the bulk of that, and it's just. And it's not, it's all your hard work, and but it's a lovely community, and that's why we all sort of stick with Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think as a business, you need Facebook, unfortunately. But the day I don't need Facebook, I'm really looking forward to.
Oh yeah, I totally get you on that. I think someone's free. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you get obsessed with it as well, don't you? It sort of Facebook can take over your life.
Well, yeah, I've been trying to write my book today, and then it's been keep coming up on Messenger, So, like, I'm doing, I'm using the same software which you used. Yeah. So there you are, but then it's like coming up and flashing, Because I've been trying to organise a trip to Scotland. So I'm hoping to meet some people up there. So I've been having conversations about that today. But at the same time, I've been trying to do my book. But sorry, I'm just trying to put something on Facebook now, just to as you do. I need to tag the show. Sorry about this.
No,
I'm really not doing very well. I'm really not doing very well. But if you pin it to featured, and then people can see it, otherwise it just disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So shall we mention then the big Rocco, really, what you're doing?
The big project.
The big project, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We are having our own channel, TV channel on Roku TV. It's called Ghost Planet Network. Andy Saw has done the logos and all the branding.
Oh wow!
Thanks, Andy, for that amazing stuff. I can actually see when I put programs on the channel, I can actually see the way it looks, and it does. Say so myself, it does look quite amazing. I'm really, even Jay's not seen it.
Oh wow!
It's only my account that can see it at the minute. Okay. Until we go live a week tonight, isn't it? A week tomorrow. So the 6th of June we go live on Roku.
6 p.m. on the 6th of the 6th. So it's 666.
Right, what I'm doing is typing this in the comments as well, so it's actually going out onto all the platforms. So, yeah. Okay, so everyone can see. It's gone out onto YouTube and things. And I've got Anne-Marie Pullman watching. So, how many? Have you got a few come forward then?
So yeah, it's very exciting. Not only have we got our own shows on, like the Demon Connections is going on there.
Awesome.
We've got the Paranormal Blackouts on there. We've got a new series we're going to start. Well, we've started called Communicating with the Dead, which is basically seances. We've started recording another series that we're doing called Haunted or Not, which is basically focused on one item per series. So that'll be an ongoing sort of research project into all the items.
That's brilliant.
Then we've got other ideas as well that we've not started yet. You know, Jane and I had this idea 5 years ago, probably more than 5 years ago, for doing something, and we're going to start that this year. So they're all going to be recorded, then put onto they're only going to go onto our channel. They're not going to go onto Facebook. They're not going to go onto YouTube. But it's not only our shows, it's other teams who do videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But YouTube, again, is a bit of a nightmare. Unless you've got 100,000 subscribers, the chances of you finding their footage on YouTube is pretty remote, because YouTube will have millions of videos every day, I imagine. So the chances of you finding your small team's footage, and some are really, really good, and they deserve to be watched by people.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few teams signed up already. We've got Haunted Live. We're getting all their videos, all their live feeds on there. They're going to be of a section. We've got loads, about 10, I think, different teams. And I've had another 2 today ask if I'll put their videos on.
That's wonderful.
We're also going to be doing podcasts. You know, Mark Hughes does a podcast on a Monday night, so I'm putting podcasts on. There's going to be a podcast section. Obviously, there's no video snap, but you can sit on the settee, put your telly on, and listen to his stories. So I think that's going to be cool.
Yeah, I've met Mark actually. Yeah, a while ago. But yeah, it's cool.
I think he co-owns Fright Nights.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's really exciting. It's a big step up for us. Because I've never edited a video before.
You are now.
So, but I'm learning as I'm going along. If I get stuck, I'll talk to one of the kids and they'll help me through it.
Oh, bless you.
I'm trying to make them look as professional as I can. Obviously, they're not going to be really channel sort of standard, because they've got a whole team working behind them.
That's right.
But the good thing about it is I've got full control. So if someone asks me to put a video on that they've investigated and they get no activity at all, I shall put it on, because that's what investigation is. Sometimes you can go and get nothing.
Yeah.
But I personally, I still think that sort of thing should be shown to people.
That's right. You want real, don't you?
Yeah, and they're real, they're raw, they're just normal people doing what they enjoy doing.
Yeah, I'm just been sorting my book, and I wrote a chapter about a live feed into the US, and absolutely nothing happened. And it's going out, I think, 1 to 2 hours to a network. I forget what it is now.
Yeah.
And the guy Alex was sort of saying, "Oh, go into that room and go into that room," and you're just talking, And if nothing's happening, it's the way it is, isn't it? I think the biggest thing what happened was the fact that we were locked out and couldn't get in the location. So for some reason, I don't know if spirit stopped us or whatever. But yeah, that was a bit weird. But yeah, not a lot happened.
So I must admit, I think I've put on 35 shows already. There's 35 shows on the channel already.
That's brilliant.
And I've got another week, so I can perhaps get 2 on a day. So there's going to be over 40 shows. I just, obviously, it's a subscription-free channel. So once you've got a Roku box, which costs about 20 quid from Argos, you can just download the app from next Tuesday and watch it for free. So I'm trying to get some advertisers myself, because the big boys won't advertise on your channel until you hit 10,000 hits on your channel. It sounds a lot. It does sound a lot, but we've worked out this today that with 35 shows, all I need is 300 people to watch all them shows. Then I've hit 10,000 hits.
Yeah.
And then the big boys will want advertise their products on it. That's how I'm going to fund it, and that's how we're going to make the money on it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do subscriptions because I don't agree with that.
That's it, isn't it?
So you're going to have to put it with an advert at the start and perhaps an advert in the middle of an hour show.
Yeah, but you know, people get adverts anyway. You know, there's adverts on YouTube now unless you pay. On TV, you get adverts. So, you know, people are used to that, aren't they, anyway? So,
yeah. So what do you think about the channel, Jane?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I think I'm really going to take my hat off to Neil about this project, because his determination and his commitment to this project has been phenomenal. And you know, the Demon Connections is really quite important to us. It's one of the it's a project that we've been doing for over 2 years now.
wow.
And Neil tried to take that to a different level, and it was rejected. And then he was so determined to do it himself that he actually, you know, got off his backside. He researched all this. He's actually set it all up, and he's done everything. He's got it all sort of. I say he's done everything, but he's been real driving force behind this project, and you've got to take your hat off to him, because he's just the work he's put into it and the time and effort he's done to just sort of achieve it, make it happen, has just been brilliant, really. And I'm just really looking forward to, you know, helping out as much as I can, and just, you know, just doing everything that we want to do, because we've had so many ideas over the last few years, and COVID sort of put a lot of those intentions on hold. So this gives us now an opportunity to get on with those sort of projects, and you know, and Neil's in control of it, and he's got everything, that pulling it all together and doing it the way he wants to do it, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah, and the way, like, you had to deal with sort of the year of COVID for different reasons, obviously. Like Neil, you know, trying to keep the centre going, you know, and doing, you know, going out and doing the job, and you had your own struggles, and you know, you carried on with it.
COVID also opened doorways to us, didn't it? Because we started the HAPRC live feeds channel on Facebook, when we got lots, and you were one as well, Jackie. You started the show on our live feeds channel.
That's
and
right.
Quite a few people joined us, and we had different shows every week to try and keep people some sort of sane, really. I was the first lockdown. I was lucky. Because I was getting, because I got a building, I was given a grant from the council, so I got the money to keep the place open anyway. But it gave us ideas, gave us time to come up with other ideas. You know, during the first lockdown, Jane came up with the ideas of the Demon Connections.
Yeah, because I was just reading and researching.
In the second one, it was a bit more difficult because I had to go and get a job.
I know, that was it.
A real job. But we did it. And it was strange times, wasn't it, the pandemic? But
yeah, but I'm a firm believer that everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and things like the Demon Connections, we wouldn't have been in a position to do that, say 3-4 years ago, but now we're in a position where we can do it. And the same thing with the new channel that's coming up. It's all happening precisely when it's meant to, because everything's falling into place, and we've got the knowledge and the you know, the resources to sort of put it all together now.
That's great. It's been a journey, hasn't it? And you're sort of gathering more information and more ideas, and that's it. Now you've got the content and sort of what
Yeah,
you want to
we
sort of put on something a
yeah
network.
we do have the content and the ideas for a TV channel, not just a TV series. This is a whole channel.
Yeah,
Now
that's right.
I can put on 50 different categories. It's little bit like Netflix. You know, you got Netflix, you've got humor, you've got paranormal, you've got other different sections with videos with films inside it. That's
Wow.
how the Ghost Planet Network is. You know, we've got the Demon Connection section with the Demon Connection shows in it. We've got the Paranormal Blackout with that shows in. So, you know, if you don't want to watch the Demon Connections, you don't have to. You can just scroll down and pick on something else.
Oh, it sounds brilliant.
There'll be such a varied amount of different shows. You know, we can have chat shows on there if we want to. We can put anything I want to put on, basically, which is nice to me.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think the
you're not restricted.
Yeah, the paranormal is lacking in something, I think. No disrespect for the TV shows that are on air now, but they're governed, as far as I can say, and I've been through it. You know, I was offered to be part of a TV series, and when the woman told me what I'd had to do, I declined because I says I don't agree with that. It weren't faking it, but it weren't saying what I believe in.
Yeah,
so I turned it down. So and I like being behind the camera anyway.
That's another good thing that Neil is a champion of. That, you know, we get in. It's not just going to be us that's doing our shows. There's a lot of small teams and people that are going to be able to put their shows on there. Neil's always been a big champion of bringing the smaller teams together, bringing people together, and you know, this is what the Parameet's always been about: is bringing people together who don't normally get a voice. And it's I'm really looking forward to it. I am just seeing some of these smaller teams and just seeing different people, different ways that they work.
And to be honest, I've seen every video that's on the channel so far, and the quality of a lot of them is good enough to be on Discovery Channel.
Oh wow, yeah.
But they put them on YouTube and get 100 views or 200 views, and to me that's wrong. No, they go out, they investigate the way they want to investigate. I'm not telling them how to investigate. That's entirely up to them. They spend time editing the footage, which does take a long time editing and making it look nice. Yeah, they get viewed 300 times if they're lucky, and I just think that's wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters or whoever is on TV gets watched by millions probably.
Yeah.
But I personally believe not some of our shows, some of the shows on Ghost Planet Network are better.
Well, yeah, because you know the big ones, they've got to have loads of activity, or they've got to have demons around every corner, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
Whereas you and the other teams, like on YouTube, they show it as it is.
Yeah.
Which is sort of different from the TV version. So.
Well, I had a guy message me and he says, "I've not sent you a video link for a couple of weeks now. That's because we've been out and got no activity." And I says, "Well, just do it anyway. Send it to me. If you get no activity, you get no activity."
Yeah.
That's what ghost hunting or paranormal investigating or whatever you want to call it, because it's all the same. That's what it is. You know, some nights you can come to the centre and get nothing. The next night we have overshadows and overshadowing and all sorts.
Yeah, people carry that. Yeah.
I'd sooner things be real than.
That's right.
I'm not saying to anyone, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. You've got to have.
It's got to have fear factor. It's got to have this, that, and the other.
Oh no.
Because we do the Demon Connections, and if people haven't watched the Demon Connections, they're going to think it's going to be fear. But it ain't. It's seriously, we've done 28 so far.
28, yeah.
We've done 28 demons,
Brilliant.
and not once have we felt threatened. You know, when we're filming it or when doing it live, Jane sort of introduce it, and you sort of say what's happening, but Jane sort of just sort of sits back. You don't want on the Pathfinder board or anything, because Jane's job there is to make sure that Amy and to myself or Julie or Ben, whoever's involved in it, is safe. So as long as Jane is watching what they're doing, because same as any entity, you don't know what they're going to be like anyway. You know, we might get somebody, a mass murder up here one night.
Mm-hmm.
Jane's got to watch them, because we don't know what they're going to do.
That's it.
So that's Jane's job, and that's why we're quite happy doing them, because we know we're safe.
Yeah, that's it.
Because Jane can, touch wood, handle anything that comes along.
No, the ones I've seen are brilliant. You know, really interesting, and it sort of dispelling the sort of rumours a bit and the myths, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is. You know, and to be honest, the demon connections would be too boring for the popular TV channels like Discovery Plus or whatever, because they don't have the fear factor. No, we talk to a demon who wants, their job is to make men and women fall in love.
Oh my God.
I guess that is pretty scary, but that's not scary. And it's funny, because a couple of weeks later, Amy and Barry started going out.
Yeah. And we actually did it onto one of the tarot cards. It came up, didn't it? But Amy was gonna.
Yeah.
There was
wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine what Amy said to that one.
Well, she weren't that impressed, I don't think, at the start.
I can imagine, yeah. Oh, bless her.
They're just not scary. And if people want our shows to be scary, they're looking in the wrong place. Our shows are real.
Yeah. But there's a massive difference between what people want to see you actually go out and investigate, to people who want to put the feet up and watch most haunted and things like that, really. You know, there's just a massive difference, isn't really?
Yeah, I would say Ghost Planet Network is for ghost hunters or paranormal investigators primarily.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the general public, no disrespect for them, they've been watching Most Haunted for the last 20 odd years.
Yeah.
So they expect that. You know, we have guests up here who are expecting Most Haunted. And I said, you ain't get it. I wish you did, but you're not going to have a stone throw.
No, you don't want it.
No, we don't.
To be honest, I can scream better than if I'm sure I can. But
you're just not going to get it. And anyone who does ghost hunting knows this.
Yeah.
Well, 99% of the people who do ghost hunting know this. They know. If you see a full-bodied apparition, make the most of it, because you probably ain't going to see another one.
Yeah, that's it. I had something touch me the other day, and I was like, "Oh God!" I don't know if it's a new sense I've picked up, but something actually ran its fingers on my back, and it's like, "What do you do that for?" You know, I never tend to feel anything like that, but yeah, that was a bit concerning. And I kept seeing someone as well, which I don't usually do, so I had quite a freaky night on Saturday, so I don't know what's going on there. But I think years ago, if I'd have sort of experienced it, I would have screamed and legged it. So I think now, maybe I don't know if that'll start from now. I don't know how it works. Jane knows more than me, but yeah, been sort of given insight into two more things. I was like, oh, okay, but it's weird stuff, isn't it? But but like if we get experiences, I can tell you, I can tell Jane, you can tell whoever, and we understand that that's true. And it might sound weird and odd and whatever. But if you speak to a person on the street and go, this happened, they'll go, huh? You know, and, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about that channel, you know, it is for people who do this frequently, or people who...
I think so. I think any person who does ghost hunting paranormal investigating, whatever you want to describe it as, you will. I think you'll enjoy what we're putting on there.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's
Well,
going to be brilliant.
hopefully the general public will like it as well, because I think a lot of skeptics who have seen these programs think they're a load of rubbish because they're so far fetched.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they think, well, it's all made up. You know, you see. I'm not picking on Ghost Adventures, but you watch Ghost Adventures. Everywhere they go, there's an evil demon. So if the general public watch that, they'll think, well, what a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
Because it's just not like that. Even the general public know that. So I think the general public will enjoy watching real investigating or real ghost hunting.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way forward.
And it can be scary. Sorry. You go, Jane.
I was just going to say, hopefully we can bring a lot more, we can share a lot more of what we've found with everybody as well. You know, this place is so unique. You will see and hear things here that you won't find in any other building. You know, there's the creatures, and you know, we had the Fae the other night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tinkering around in the teacups. And
oh wow.
You know, there's so many other things here, like the mirror, the portal, the mirror where everything comes in and out of the mirror. And hopefully we can bring all that, because it's like we said, ghost hunting isn't just a case of running around with the K2. You know, there are times when you're sitting in a damp cellar and nothing happens, or you're in a dusty attic and, you know, you're sort of wandering around trying to find something. And all that is sort of real ghost hunting, isn't it? And that's what we want to try and share with everybody.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at the comments. We've got Anne-Marie Pullman. She works in a haunted building on nights. Atmosphere changes so much, but during the day, because you're so busy, you don't notice. But she's like looking forward to the channel. Annette Locke is looking forward to a channel as well. Andy Tom says, good for you, Neil, about sort of what you're doing, basically. Eric Thompson, Neil's idea is brilliant. So
thank you.
Eric's actually in the US. Anne-Marie, so many shows that have so many edits, but she prefers local community and paranormal investigators, as if they don't get anything, it doesn't matter. Whereas the bigger shows have more to have that climax to show. Jeanette Bean, rather have no activity than made up activity.
Yeah.
Andy Tom, I'd rather watch a show as it happens or live rather than edited to the moon and back.
Yeah.
Ames can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, Ames did say she wants to have everyone send in their paranormal confessions.
Oh yes,
that was a great show before, wasn't it? It was so funny.
Yeah, one of the shows we did during the lockdown was Confessions of the Paranormal Investigator. So we would like to bring that back on the channel, because it is so
too funny. Yeah.
People will have to be warned about the language before it comes on, so that it'll have to carry a warning because Amy's involved anyway. But some of the stories have got quite colourful language in, shall we say?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, something, because we used to doing all our shows live. Our shows aren't edited too much. All I've edited is when one of us says the wrong word, like demon files.
All right, yeah.
That sort of thing. But most of our shows will be continuous with just a couple of cuts that just make it better anyway. Now I've put in Haunted Lives to put a video on today, and that's got no cuts in at all.
Wow, that's brilliant.
What they do their investigations live.
Yeah.
So it's one is in two parts, because I'm trying to keep, because for example Haunted Live, they do a 2-hour live feed, and I've cut that into 2 parts because I think that just makes it easier to
for
watch.
viewing. Yeah.
So it'll be part 1 and part 2, but there's very minimal cuts in our shows. Obviously, teams who send me their videos, they edit it how they want to edit it.
That's right.
But I've got a group. They do lives on Facebook. They've asked if they can share their footage on the channel. I said yeah. So again, that is just pure live feed as it happened. They've had to make one change for me. They used to film in portrait.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
them to turn the camera around so it's landscape because I need to fill the TV screen. But they did a live last night and they've changed that for me. So, well, it's not just for me; it's for them as well because they're going to get
That's right. Yeah.
Going to get a lot of views from it as well. And hopefully they will get people watching their lives in the future as well. If they enjoy what I've put on from their previous lives, hopefully when they go live again, they'll get more viewers live.
Yeah. That's great. You know, like when you set up the centre as well, you gave smaller teams the opportunity to sort of hire the building out because you charged a lot less than, you know, other places and yeah, it just made a big difference really.
Yeah, that's always been important to us. Like Jane said, the Parameet.
Yeah, that's so reasonable, you know. It really is.
It's not 50 quid or 300 quid to get in. It's this year's 11 quid for the weekend.
Yeah.
Everyone can afford, or it's £7 for one day. Everyone can afford to come along, meet people, meet other small teams, hopefully, get to know each other, and I'm not a big fan on Para Unity on the word.
It doesn't work.
I like Paranormal Community. That's fine.
That's better, yeah.
There's not going to be total Para Unity. There never will be.
The more people who mention Para Unity, they're the ones who cause issues. That's the way I see it, anyway.
Yeah, quite often.
I'm doing it that way, getting the smaller teams involved. When we used to do the Parameet before, you know, bringing people together, we've met some awesome people. You know, we've made so many friends. We've met so many amazing teams, and you know, we've seen such amazing evidence that the teams have captured here, and it's just been brilliant to just sort of bring people together like that.
That's right. It is lovely. Like, you know, I've met a lot of people on Facebook. I'm going to be meeting up with this team soon. In September, I'm going up to Scotland. So Phantom Seekers Paranormal. So I've just been chatting to Eileen today. Eileen agrees about cutting the live down to shorter time, though. She says attention spans are not long. Shorter lives grab more of an audience. So
So if someone, for example, Haunted Live, their live feeds last 2 hours. Like I said, I've put them down to an hour. So part 1 will be the first hour, part 2 will be the second hour. So you can watch an hour and then go and watch something else if you want to, and you can come back another day and watch part 2 if you want to.
Or you can binge watch them all together. So
that's right.
We just need. We put a lot of effort into this channel, a lot of time. You know, I'm at the computer for hours and hours and hours at the end now. Julie, my wife Julie says I'm obsessed with it. I said, yeah, but this is my job, and I need to make it look good with a decent amount of content on for next Tuesday's launch. Because if it launches next Tuesday and I only had 5 videos on, people are immediately going to say, "Oh, that's rubbish." But already there's 35-ish, perhaps a couple more going to go on tonight.
That's brilliant.
So, and there's lots of different shows as well. So it's I think it's going to be good.
We've got a lot of shows in the pipeline that we want to do. I would say projects that have been that we've thought about, ideas that we thought about years ago that that we want to bring into fruition. And we will just keep building and building and building on the channel. There'll always be something new. There'll always be, I mean, Neil, like you said, he does get bored, so there'll always something weird and wacky perhaps going on at some point.
I do. I admit it. My attention span on anything is very limited, very small, and for me to have had this building for 5 years, and it's quite amazing that it amazes me, because normally I'd be bored with it. But because we keep changing things, and because we keep doing new things in, like the different live feeds that we do, and now this new channel, I can't ever see me getting bored of this new channel, because every day I'm watching different teams investigating their different ways, and I edit our video, what we do, and it's just so exciting. So far, all the categories are British made. They're all British teams. Obviously, if American paranormal ghost hunting teams want us to put their footage on, I'm open to that as well.
That's brilliant.
Apparently, there's 1.6 million Roku boxes in the UK,
Wow.
50 million in the US. Unfortunately,
Okay.
Roku doesn't go to Australia or New Zealand yet, but Roku's a fairly new company. So whether they do expand to Australia and New Zealand, hopefully they will. So the potential audience is in the UK alone, 1.6 million houses.
That's amazing. It really is, because you get your Amazon, you get your Netflix, and they've recently changed it where you can't share it across different households.
But then on
but
Netflix,
you're paying.
Netflix is on Roku as well, anyway.
Is it?
Yeah, you can get Netflix
wow.
through Roku. We got Amazon Prime, and now we got Roku, obviously, because I have to buy it to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think Roku is actually better than Amazon Prime.
Awesome. Yeah, because I pay Prime because I'm always ordering from Amazon.
Yeah.
But I got conned into it. You do, don't you?
So if you don't have Roku box now, and you're thinking about buying one just to watch our channel, you're not just getting our channel. For 20 quid, you're getting there's a Roku channel which has got lots of great shows on that I tend to just watch Roku channel now. You can have Netflix on it, you can have Sky News on it. There's lots of things. There's lots of different shows on there. There's all sorts. So it's not just for the 20 quid that you're buying the Roku device. You're not just getting Ghost Planet Network. You're getting all these others as well.
That's brilliant.
The Roku channel is free to watch as well, so that's good. There's lots of good old shows on there as well.
Sounds great. I haven't got it, but yeah, I will sort of go out and get it. Probably buy it from you when you get it.
We're hoping to get a delivery of our own Roku boxes.
Yeah.
That's up in the air after today, but we'll see.
Oh, bless you. I'll keep an eye out anyway. Obviously, because
just go to Argos and get it 20 quid. I think Amazon's selling.
Yeah, well, I get it from Amazon because I get everything else from there. So yeah, it's easy, and it just click a button, there it comes.
Yeah, so
half the time you forget about it. What you've ordered.
So all you need is is a TV with a HDMI input, Wi-Fi access, and you're good to go.
That's cool. Yeah, that's well smart.
And then next Tuesday from 6 p.m, all you gotta do is search for Ghost Planet Network. I do have to confirm with them actually, Roku, that it is going to go live at 6 p.m.
Yeah,
but
that's going to be stressful, isn't it? 5:58, thinking, is it going to go live?
It will be. It will be stressful because I won't know. It's already on my telly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I need to see what the channel's looking like to programs on there. So I can actually see it. I'm the only one in the world, in the universe, to see Ghost Planet Network so far.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's so cool.
And I know it is a good feeling. I must admit, I watch it and I'm thinking, oh, that I would watch that channel. So if
Yeah.
and I'm quite picky.
And I'm quite looking forward to it because, you know, during lockdown when we said that there were so many live feeds going on and there was a show, you know, there were several shows on a day sometimes, and I really miss getting that sort of paranormal fix now, you know, when I'm sitting at home, because I don't really watch TV, but I do like to watch other people investigating and watching shows and stuff, and I do quite miss that. So it's going to be nice if you like me, if you're looking for those live shows and those paranormal fixes. So I'm really looking forward to watching it.
Well, that's it. I don't watch much TV, but you know, if there is something to watch, then I'm more likely to watch it. You know, I might find something to binge watch, but it's, you know, I can take it or leave it. If I never see another episode of whatever I'm watching, then there's no loss. But you know, something like this, it's different, isn't it? It's more of our interest.
It's all paranormal, and it's different things. You know, it could be Mark's podcast where you just sit and listen to his story.
Wow.
There's no video to it. You just sit and listen to it. So that's different. I'd like to get more podcasters to come on board because I think that could be interesting. Or you can watch Haunted Live. If you don't like them, you can watch HBI, or you can watch Dead Cold Paranormal.
Oh, Dead Cold! I spoke to him last week, and
you interviewed
him.
Really nice.
YouTube's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. There's going to be new shows every week. Now it does take me a while. I don't have 20 editors working for me. It's me, so it does take me a lot. I can get perhaps 2 videos on a day.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be able to get more on.
Yeah, but you want it right, don't you? And that's it. So
yeah, but I'm learning as I'm going along. You know, I had no idea how to edit a video. It actually takes me longer to edit and put our shows on than it takes me to just pick up somebody else's and drop it in.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and code it. So I need to spend more time editing our stuff as well. But
you'll get the hang of it as time goes on. Like I do photography and I can edit photos, but trying to put together a film, oh God, no. You know, I just don't know where to start. I think TikTok's the nearest I can do.
Also, we are going to do when it's all planned and we've got permissions, and we're going to do another series, and we've got a researcher, historian involved in that as well. So
brilliant.
So that's going to be interesting, and that again, I've talked to you about this one, and that's going to be interesting because it's not your normal paranormal investigation. It's going to be so totally different. I'm lucky also. I've got a son who's an actor, so Ben's going to be introducing lots of our shows.
Fantastic.
So, and he comes free. So that's even better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what counts. It helps.
So I'm lucky that Ben's an actor, so he can do that. He can do voiceovers.
Yeah.
And Luke's helped me with how to edit things as well. So.
Yeah, Luke does music, doesn't he?
No, Luke does.
Is it Ben who does the music as well?
Ben's he does singing and acting.
Well, there you go. If you need music as well.
Yeah, if you need a singer.
Yeah, sorted.
Yeah. Contact Ben.
That's brilliant. So we've got Ames. It's really exciting. Can't wait to watch our honest paranormal network. Kiss, kiss.
Okay. Yeah.
Mandy Bell payment in Mars bars.
And
Nick Smith. Hi, everyone. Just got home from work, but hi, thanks for joining us. So, if you've got any questions to ask Neil and Jane, if you just add them to a live chat. So, yeah, it's just brilliant what you're doing, really, and it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there are groups who've gone on to Roku, but the fact that you're doing a network, and there's people who sort of do Facebook networks, but you're trying a different medium, aren't you? And that's great.
Yeah. the potential is huge. And
Yeah.
while Ames is watching, come up tomorrow night, Amy, because you're filming your section for another show. 8 p.m. We want to start filming.
There you go. Neil only pays in monkey nuts from Ames.
If you're lucky. that's only at Christmas.
Awesome. But yeah, it's really interesting. It really is.
See, that's where I'm very lucky, because Jane, Amy, and Ant, and yourself, and Amanda and Kathy, you put a lot of time and effort into the centre, and you don't get paid. None of you get paid for it.
Yeah, but then you know what? I'd be spending 40 quid to go to another event, and sometimes, obviously, if it's a public event, they do things like table tipping, or they make you do this, that, and the other with people you don't know, you know, and there could be large numbers. So with your sort of the hosted ones, you have up to 12 people.
Yeah.
And we can split into 2 groups as well. And we sort of keep away from each other when we do split. And, you know, we get different experiences. And we also cater for different people's needs.
Yeah.
You know, like some might be new and sort of, you know, they might want to do the table tipping, but others might want to do a seance, or so we just work with, you know, whatever people want.
Yeah, so I am very lucky to have Jane, Amy, and Ant as my team, and you guys as the hosts. So I am lucky.
No, but you've done it. You know, you've built this, haven't you?
I know I'm special. I'm just joking there. And the good thing about us, though, there's no ego. None of the team of Jane, Amy, and Ant, who do the investigating with the Demon Connections on and the other shows. We don't have a team. We don't have an ego. We just want to experience as much as we possibly can, which is different to the norm. You know, the Demon Connection is different to the norm.
That's right. It is. And it's good. But the amount of research Jane has done in the background.
Yeah, well, she's just a bookworm, Jane is.
But you say that there's been a lot of the things that I've learned here. Although Neil says, you know, I don't get paid. For me, I couldn't buy what I have learned here. You know, if I got paid, that to me would be right anyway. But I have learned so much. Neil's given me, working closely at the centre, like we do, Neil's given me the opportunity to progress so much spiritually, working with spirit, learning new things. Every time I come up here, I always learn something different. And the amount of things that we've learned, and the spiritual journey for me has just been amazing. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without working with Neil. So payment to me, it's for me, it's been a lot more than just money. The money doesn't matter, but the spiritual journey does, and that's what's most important to me.
And it's experiences, isn't it? You know, you can't really buy experiences like that.
No.
You know, it is brilliant. And, you know, I do love the centre, you know that. I can't keep away, can I? Like, I live 30 miles away. You know, it takes me 45 minutes to drive there, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah. But all the things we've learned and discovered, I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do that if we just carried on as being a normal venue group, or taking guests as, you know, doing the investigations like we were doing, because you get such a limited amount of time in the building.
Oh gosh,
you can't, you know, in some cases you get 45 minutes in a room and then you move on, you know. Right. And you can't build up a picture, you can't build up a history of stuff that's going on, and you can't progress with different experiments and trying different things like that. So having this building has been so important for the stuff that we've learnt, and all that has come together. And now that we can sort of develop that and bring it all together, and we can, and, you know, Neil can now start to put all this content into the shows.
That's brilliant. It really is. It's wonderful. Some more comments. If there's any actual questions for Neil and Jane, please add them to the live chat. Ames said, he had no choice for me. I just don't go away.
I've sacked Amy that many times, but then she says, "Well, you'll have to spend all Saturday night with the team." Then, okay, you're reinstated.
Or stick you in the room with Hannah.
Like I've previously said, especially now because I am spending so much time getting content on the channel, and I can't see that ever stopping. So these guys are even more important to me now, because instead of me sitting up here on a Saturday night sort of looking after the team, I can go home and spend time, get even more content on the channel. Which it was all. So Amy will spend Saturday night with the team. I think she enjoys it anyway, doesn't she? She comes up even when. Now, some nights there's been all 4 of us up here, and I'm thinking, well, we don't need all 4 of us up here. If I'm not at home on the computer putting content on the channel, we could be out filming something else, because the more I am a bit obsessed at the minute getting good content, good real content on our channel, because that's how we're going to move forward. That's how we're going to get the advertisers to pay to go to advertise on the channel, which means we can buy better equipment, better cameras and things, and improve things, and even we can go to antique stores and antique centres and perhaps pick up more interesting items as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I actually went to the one who used to sponsor you. I don't know if they still do, but I went there and they've got some interesting things there. Yeah. Right, we've got Phantom Seekers Paranormal. I like to keep groups small when investigating, usually by invitation, as I get to know people and who I can trust, not to be looking for dramatics and to keep it real. And that's it, isn't it? You don't want one person just turning up and just screwing it up for everyone, to be fair.
Well, but that's all it takes, though, doesn't it? It only takes
one person,
one person.
Yeah.
No, I remember when, not long after we first opened, I did a Sinister Sunday night, and I had six guests. I always tell this story, and I was on my own because there was only 6. And as soon as I walked through the door, this bloke said, "If I knew what it was, someone to come."
Oh, great.
And I thought, I've got problems here, and so I made them a cup of tea. And none of them believed any of this. They just come for a bit of a laugh. And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, here's your money back. I ain't wasting my time with you. You can go."
Yeah.
I'm just not wasting my time with people who don't believe in what we're doing anyway. I don't.
Yeah. It's not so much like not believe. It's like not willing to try properly.
Yeah.
Not willing to give it the time to see. For real.
Seriously, they have no interest in it. They just come for a laugh. And I thought, well, you're not having a laugh at my expense. I would sooner spend my Sunday evening at home with my wife.
Well, that's it.
Trying to sort of entertain you 6 people. I think we're beyond that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't interest me at all, to be honest.
No, totally get you. It's just a waste of everyone's time, isn't it? I sort of recently had it where some people ended up a bit worse for wear, and luckily they left quite early. That's all I can say. It suited us, it suited them. Go to the pub because that's where you want to be, And, they were there to hold someone's hand, it's like one person's birthday and everyone else was there because she wanted them there, and it's not right,
No, I don't understand why people do it, but they do. But that comment, I agree totally. Keep it. We're not drama. We don't do drama. I hate drama. I've got with drama a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And we just don't do drama.
Life's too short.
we're not interested in it,
No,
because we just want to work with spirit.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not interested in. I'm not out to prove to anyone that there is life after death. I'm not out to prove to people that. This is my journey, and I think Jane agrees. This is Jane's journey.
Yeah.
If no one used to watch our live feeds, we'd have still done it anyway.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
we want to know for ourselves. You know, I'm not setting out to prove to anyone demons are such and such, or spirits are such and such, because that's for you to find out. You know, you are on your journey, Jackie, so that's for you to find out your way. And you know, you've been involved in things and you've had to change and adapt, and now you sort of a lone investigator, aren't you? You go with different people.
Yeah, I do go out and meet different people, and like obviously I sort of help out at 2 locations, which I sort of meet different people. You know, it's great, and you know, I meet people on social media, but then you know, to actually meet up with them in person, investigate with them is great. It's not always the safest thing to do, obviously, so I have to be extra careful on that one. But yeah, like, you know, soon I'm going to Scotland and I'm meeting someone. Well, you know, I've been speaking to this group a while, you know, I've seen them do lives, and you find that when you do finally meet people, they are as what you've been watching in a way.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you know them. I met Leslie Hudson the other week. Went up to a school which was used for filming the Full Monty, which is awesome. I didn't realise till afterwards. And, you know, I met in a school car park, you know, about 6 people I didn't know. But, you know, you do these things. But then if you go camping, you could end up anywhere with anyone, couldn't you? So you just got to be careful and be aware of it. But it's day-to-day life, isn't it?
Yeah, all I'll say is with the Ghost Planet Network is it'll be real. It's real.
Yeah,
it's real
definitely.
People, not actors like some people who've been on TV. Nobody's actors. And it's real. They're going to be raw. There probably is some swearing in it, because that's how some people should react to certain situations.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think that's what you need to show. But then another video, there might be spending an hour in a building and just talking amongst themselves, because the spirits just don't want to talk to them.
But you find if that happens, something usually happens, doesn't it? If you are chatting among yourselves, then the spirit go, "Hello, I'm here," and you might find something happens.
Yeah.
But sometimes having a camera light kills the activity as well, doesn't it? You know, you can't win. You just do what you do and see what happens, really. And it's real, and that's it. You're doing that.
And that's what I've told all the video content creators. As long as it's real, I'm prepared to put it on. But as if I think you're faking stuff, I won't put it on, and I'll take your stuff off.
Yeah, that's it. And you get the. I think it must be kind of obvious in a way.
Oh yeah.
You know, you get to know certain signs, don't you?
Yeah, we all know
the reactions.
The mainstreams who fake stuff or set stuff up. That's up to them. They do what they want to do. I'm not bothered about them.
That's it. I just can't be bothered to waste my time watching it, to be fair. Oh god, yeah, I know. It's mad, isn't it?
Some groups are always the victim.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Be a victim and then call someone so you're a victim. Yeah.
No, that's up to them. I'm not interested in them.
No.
But there are so many good little teams out there.
They're wonderful.
Who go out every Saturday night with their small team, with a group of mates who love the paranormal, or have got a passion for the paranormal, who do some really good stuff. And they're just not being recognised.
I really admired Jackie, the way she just sort of gets on with it, and she does go out, she does meet people, and she goes to all these places. and you try and get your own experiences, and you try and do all that. Because I've quite a few times I've had people say to me, well, prove to me that ghosts exist.
Oh, don't, yeah.
That then sort of that annoys me a little bit, because people will just sit there and expect you to prove to them that ghosts exist. Now, I could tell people a million ghost stories, and you won't necessarily believe me, but you've got to get off, and you've got to get off your backside. You've got to get out there and experience it for yourself. If you want evidence that ghosts exist, you've got to go out and find it and experience it for yourself, because there's no point people telling you, because I do feel that there is too much in the paranormal of people telling people things and then them just blindly believing it.
Oh God, yeah. Oops.
And our paranormal community seems to be sort of rolling along on this blinkered thing where people will just residual energy. Don't get me started on residual energy. Because because people have been told that it exists and all this sort of thing, and people blindly believe it without finding out for themselves. And I would just say to people, get out there and just experience it for yourself and find the answers for yourself. Definitely. Without, you can't just say that ghosts don't exist because I've never seen one. Well, go out and find one, because they're all around us all the time.
Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. 2002 into 2003, do ghosts exist? And there's a New Year's resolution between me and my ex after watching the first series of Ghost Most Haunted. So that's where it all started for me, we had weird experiences first at the National Justice Museum in Nottingham, and we had some weird stuff happen there, and Derby Jail, Jason Cole. So it is. I still didn't believe then, and it took me until something strong happened that I actually realised. And once something happens, that's it, and I think you see things in a different light, don't you?
Yeah, I just enjoy watching people enjoy what they're doing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Like I say, as long as it's real.
Yeah. And it's quite good when you see people get freaked out because they have had a genuine experience.
Yeah, like I was having a go at something the other day for touching my back. You're just talking to thin air. What do you do that for? But actually, it's quite cool, to be fair, because oh my gosh, twice in a week something's actually touched me and I felt it. Like, there's times you go on at the events, people go, oh, I've been touched. Well, I sometimes feel my hair, but to actually get fingers on your back, it's like, shit, what happened there? And it is different.
You genuinely know when people have had a really good experience, don't you? I mean, when we did Edinburgh Vaults, my daughter, for the first time, seen a full-bodied apparition of Mr. Boots there in there, and her reaction. you know when people have had a really good, paranormal experience because of the way they respond to that, and it's
trousers, yeah.
I mean, we've seen quite a few people sort of really scared here, and they've had a phenomenal experience and everything else. And you go, wow, that's great. And they go, is it?
Yeah. Well, we had that at one of the hosted nights, didn't we, Neil?
Yeah.
So, somebody wouldn't go upstairs again. But, it is what it is. You go out, you look, and finding can be different when you realise that, oh, dear, something is here, But...
Yeah. See, not everyone would agree with the way we work, I had quite a few comments made to me when we started the Demon Connection saying we're totally wrong doing it. But that's their opinion. We got our opinion, so we think right. And I'm sure we're even more sure that we're doing the right thing now because the information we're getting. And again, when we do investigation, we don't use any white light protection or whatever protection you want to use. We just don't use it because we believe that stops some of the activity, restricts some of the activity. Yeah. I've had teams come in and say, when we tell them about our Ouija boards, that we never close them down. I've had teams insist that Amy removes all our Ouija boards from upstairs. but that's just how we use it. We class ourselves as a research centre, so
Yeah, that's
right. We want to see, does not closing the Ouija board down make any difference? We want to know that, but you can't find that information out in 1 week. That's going to take years, and that's why we're lucky to have this place. We can do things over years. We've started another new series, which is Amy's filming her bit tomorrow night, that each series is focused on one item of the centre. Yeah. So Jane's done her bit, I've done my bit, there's only Jane and I know what's happened so far. Amy doesn't even have a clue of what we've done so far. So she's coming in not knowing anything about the item. Well, she knows the item, obviously, but she doesn't.
Yeah, I know the item, but yeah, we'll say it.
But we want to expand on that. I think it'd be good if other people see what they think to the item as well. So it's not just us four. It could last 100 different people. I don't know. So we will end up with a huge amount of information, documented information on the item. So
I've had some items, and I think Jane's held them, and different people have held them.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm just getting information together on them, and it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you just want to find the history of something, and the more validation you get and the same knowledge you get from different people, it helps, doesn't it?
We think so. The centre's been open 5 years, but we're still only just started.
Yeah, whereas I think we're only still scratching the surface, and we will always challenge things out there that we, like things like the Ouija board, where people say you're supposed to open them up and shut them down and do this, that, and the other, and cleanse yourself and do all this stuff. And a lot of times you find that somebody's had a bad experience with one, and when you actually ask them about it, well, it was like my uncle Fred, his friend 10 years ago, had a bad experience, and it's word of mouth and these things, Chinese whispers.
And how drunk were they? Was everybody messing about? And
there's so many.
Is anyone responsible?
There's so many different things involved in the Ouija board, though, isn't it? It's the people. Yeah. Now, another new series we're going to start on the channel is something like the Ouija sessions. So we're going to invite 4 guests up here to film doing a Ouija session. Yeah. And then another, whether we keep the same 4, I don't know. I'm not decided that yet. So again, that's going to build up a picture. So we're going to be focusing on a room each time. Whether the people get the same information, or we getting more information every time we use it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. Whether we keep the same 4 people around the Ouija board, so the spirits get to know those 4 people.
Yeah.
So each session they'll give us more information that we can go and find out. For example, in the war room, it would be quite easy to find out information, whether if they give us the name, the regiment, or their age, the year they died, we can actually research that. So I'm not decided how that one's going to work out yet. We need to talk about that. But I just find it's a fantastic opportunity that's arisen for us with this channel, that we can reach more people. We can show people what the paranormal really is about. It isn't about the presenter screaming from everything, or stones being thrown at you, or
from behind the camera.
Everywhere you go, there's a demon who's going to possess you and all this rubbish. That's not real paranormal. That's not real ghost hunting.
Yeah, and we want to break
some of the myths show. Well. Yeah,
just say, going back to the Ouija boards, who made those rules up in the first place? Hey, who?
Exactly.
You can answer me that.
Yeah.
So we just, and we do a lot of research, and we do a lot of work in the background, And things like stone tape theory. I mean, you all know I don't believe in stone tape theory.
Yeah.
It was just based on a play in the 70s that the BBC put on, and people believed it as being true. And so this has been handed down for the last 50 years that stone tape theory is real, and this is where then your residual energy comes from. And it's just not been proven, and that's all it is, a theory. And it was just based on a tale, and they got the idea because at the time some of the people were working in this old house, Victorian house, and they got the idea to make this play, and the BBC put it out at Christmas as a Christmas sort of thriller.
Wow.
And people just believe that the stone tape theory is real, and it isn't. And people talk about quartz being a memory and this, that, and the other, but it's too contradictive. It doesn't. There's nothing consistent about any of it.
Yeah. Well, we certainly will never find out 100% the answers to any. We can only put together theories, can't we? And it's for each of us to believe our own theory until it's proven or misproven.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
We don't say that we're right, you're wrong.
Yeah.
We just say, in our opinion, we think this.
Yeah, you see, that's the result, and that's the conclusion that we've come to through our own research and our own investigation of the things. We've been in this building for over 5 years. There's been something on this site probably for 1,000 years, because we know Hinkley Town dates back to the 900s, from when the Mott and Bailey Castle was at the top of Castle Street, and the Castle Street came down into the market. The town was established in the 1100s, and Hinkley Market's been going since 1350, and this building's on the edge of the marketplace. So there has been something here on this site for 1,000 years, and if residual energy existed, I'm sure we would have experienced it in this building some way, some way or other.
Well, we haven't.
And we haven't.
Yeah, I like it. Everyone's got their own techniques, and there's 2 people who've recently called me because I'll go out, I'll put photos up. They're just photos. I'm not saying paranormal because they're not. They're just photos because I'm a keen photographer. I take thousands of photos.
Yeah.
I think I've only got 3 which might be something. I don't know. And people are going, well, you've written this account. Have you got video? Oh, you can't be a normal paranormal investigator if you haven't got video and evidence. Well, really? I do it my own way, love, someone had to go at me, I said, I was touched at the jail the other night.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? Well, shit.
Well,
I know what it feels like,
You felt it. I do love personal experiences.
Yeah. And if you get a name and you get details and somebody else comes out and go, I got that when I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a result, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when you're actually there experiencing it, you cannot convey through a photograph or maybe through a video, but the actual atmosphere and how you're feeling and how you're reacting to what you're picking up and what you're sensing and what you can see, through your third eye or whatever. You can't convey that through a photograph, but actually being there and physically experiencing it, and exactly what's happened, and what you've seen and what you've heard. And then, when people come along and say, well, that's a load of rubbish, that didn't happen, and they weren't even there, that's something that we need to question, because people are so easily critical of your experience and what you've seen and what you heard. And that's I think we just need to be a bit kinder to each other, because we've had lots when people criticize what you're doing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I think that's the problem with Facebook, isn't it? Some news paranormal, I get so excited over the picture. They put it on Facebook, and they get shot to pieces, and you think, well, that's not very nice, is it? If I personally, I believe if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah.
If people send me a picture and say what my opinion is, I will give my opinion, but I'll be nice about it. I won't say you're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? You might think it, but you don't say it.
Yeah, I might think it.
Yeah,
but I believe I do believe you should be nice to you treat people how you want them to treat you, and you should respect everybody. And I do respect. I think we respect everybody or everyone's technique, because that's the way they want to do it. It's not for me to say you're doing that wrong.
Oh, exactly. It's just as long as they're doing it truthfully and honestly, that's the biggie, isn't it?
I do think sometimes people overcomplicate working with spirit, because it's so easy. You know, spirit is in all these open spaces around us, you know, in all this energy that's moving in the open space around us. That's where spirit is, and they come close to us and they can work with us so easy. And sometimes people have these real blinkered ideas. You know, in the spirit world, you've got, in that realm, there's the demons, the fairies, there's the creatures, the aliens, the astral travelers. There's all sorts of things in there, and people seem to sort of overcomplicate it. I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, it's our human brain for putting things into categories, isn't it? And go, oh, that's in that cat. And I kind of think it's sometimes our way, isn't it? Like for ages, I didn't believe in spirit. I had things happen, but it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's a radiator, or that, you know. I would always argue it to the nth degree. I still do in some ways, you know. I try and rule things out, but I can accept that. Yeah, there is something else going on. But that's true. Going out looking, and that's what you have to do, is go out and look, isn't it? Look for yourselves as well.
Because a lot of the time we have the ability to change the environment around us, and a lot of the time when spirit come forward, the actual trigger is ourselves being in that environment, sending out the thought, sending out the intent, and the trigger is ourselves.
Definitely. I think I'll just move to some of the comments, and I've sort of totally lost the comments as ever. Sorry about that, everyone. So, Andy Tom, smaller groups are better because you bounce off each other and everyone gets a chance to say what they sense, which is nice as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
You're hearing everyone's voice, not the person who shouts the loudest.
Yeah.
Which sometimes can happen. Have you found much unfounded criticism put your way from anywhere? Usually based on jealousy or ego. You've had so much of that, haven't you?
We've not so much lately. We have done in the past when people are either jealous or
even unfriended us and unassociated themselves.
They didn't agree with what we're doing. But they're part of their opinion. I don't like jealousy. I think that's a bit of an evil trait people have. Whether once the new channel Ghost Planet Network launches, we get some sort of backlash, I'm not sure, because some people will be jealous because we want to have a TV channel. Because some people, their main goal in the paranormal is to get on TV. Mm-hmm. And they don't care how they do it. That's what they want. It's not my goal. My goal is to share what we do, because I think what we do and what the little teams do is good enough for more people to see. I think the work that we do deserves to be seen by more people, because it'll open people's eyes up to the real paranormal. It's not ego. I don't have an ego. It's quite often you won't see me on the videos anyway, because I'll sit behind the camera, or you'll see my hands on the Pathfinder board, or whatever. You very rarely will you see me actually in front of the camera, because I don't enjoy being in front of the camera.
Oh, bless you.
I enjoy more being behind it, so I can make it look how I want it to look, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not ego to be on TV. You saying, Jane?
No, I was just going to say there was one chap that came into the shop downstairs when Neil had the shop downstairs, didn't he? And he had a Bible, and he didn't agree with what we were doing, and he actually called Neil an abomination.
I've been called an abomination. I took it as a compliment.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we're going to bring Armageddon forward at all.
God no, it's doing itself anyway, isn't it? Without any of our intervention.
The information, I just find that we focus a lot on the demon connections because I think that's the most important thing that we do, as in research or finding the truth. But I just find it so fascinating. The answers that we're given is it's not all singing and dancing. You don't have flashy cat balls going off all the time or things like that. It's not. I can understand why the mainstream TV didn't want it, because it's not the fear factor, or it's not exciting.
Yeah,
it's not as screaming.
Yeah.
Because I've never felt threatened at all.
No, I have had a stalker for the last couple of years who seemed to criticise and try and turn us away from doing the demons and stuff like that. And he did say that he used to sort of astral project into the centre and fight demons with his sword of light and stuff like that. And so, I mean, we have attracted a few people that didn't necessarily agree with what we were doing, but we've just carried on regardless.
What I'd say to if people are watching and they've got this they go along with the normal thought of demons. You don't touch them; they're pure evil, and they want to bring the world to its knees and all this. I would suggest. Obviously downloading Ghost Planet Network when we start next week. I would suggest watching. There's 5 episodes on there now. I would suggest watching them.
Yeah.
Because the very first one, you know the Conjuring films with the nun. That was supposed to be the demon Valak. The Valak is episode 1, and I can say hand on heart that everything is true. What was happening that night.
Yeah. Was that the first one which you streamed?
It was the first live stream that we did, yes.
Yeah, I think I watched that. Oh God, wow, yeah. That was cool.
And we tried different experiments depending on what the characteristics of this demon is supposed to be like. We've done 2 in the woods. And again, they were fascinating. It's right. But if you want excuse me, if you want paranormal excitement like Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted, you're not gonna get it with us, because that's not real.
Yeah.
What you get is real, and what Jane says is real. What we pick up is real. You know, we're not trying to brainwash everybody into agreeing with us. But if you go along the Ghost Adventures route, like demons, everyone's terrified of demons. I do suggest downloading Ghost Planet Network and watching the 5 episodes of Demon Connections. They're on there now. Well, there will be next Tuesday.
There will be, yeah.
Yeah, I suggest watching them, and that is real communicating with so-called demons.
That's cool.
Now, the one that when I went into the meditation state, that was amazing. What he was rising through me.
Yeah.
And the most interesting thing about that episode, I think it's episode 4, that one, I'm not quite sure, is I'd got a bad cough at the time, and before I went into this meditation state, I was barking like a dog, weren't I? And I didn't realise until Jane brought me back out that I didn't cough once.
Wow.
And I'd had this cough. Did you hear the footsteps upstairs?
Yeah.
I'd had a cough for months. You know, I'd even been to the doctors about it. That's how long I'd had it, and I don't go to the doctors.
Yeah, I remember.
But off once when I was in this meditation state, and I just found that interesting. Some of the symbols that he was drawing through it, and some of the words, something was a bit controversial.
Yeah.
I'll put it all in. I've even put a screenshot of the pages of the book that I was writing. It's fascinating.
We are working on a book as well at the moment.
Yes.
That's
so
brilliant.
anybody that doesn't know about the demon connections, the idea is that we're going to look at each demon out of the Lesser Keir Solomon. So there's 72 demons in the Lesser Keir Solomon, and we're working towards talking to each one individually and just finding out the truth, really. So not the truth that we've been told by Christianity for hundreds of years, but our own personal truth of contacting this spirit or entity. And we have now done 28 of them, and the first 18 are now being worked on to go into the first book. So we're going to be doing 4 books of 18. So we've got enough content now to get the first book well on its way. So that will be coming soon.
That's brilliant.
But soon.
Soon.
To be honest, everything's sort of been put on the back in my aspect. While I've been leading up to the launch next week, everything's been put on the back burner. While I'm concentrating on the channel launch.
Yeah, that's fine. But you can publish anytime. Well, I think I said I was going to do my book 2 years ago. I thought I finished it. I've been editing today. I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I might actually press the button on. No, it's close. But then again, I said that ages ago. But yeah.
When the time's right, you'll get it published.
Yeah. Well, I spoke to someone about a forward today, so it's all good. Yeah. Well, I spoke to him a while about it, so it's all good. Yeah, he's up for it. Okay, so we'll go back to the comments. Mandy Bell, admire Neil's honesty. If an item has nothing attached, he says it how it is. Thing is about Neil and Jane, you never actually say it's got. You never actually tell anyone anything about an item, do you?
No,
it's for them to find out.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we came up last night. We were doing some filming for another episode about haunted objects. The series is called Haunted or Not, and we got a new doll in. I think you saw it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got something from that. Yeah.
But there's not a lot to it, and we said, well, there's not a lot to it. We're not going to make anything up because that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's the way we are.
Yeah, I got images from that, but
no,
this is what that was.
This is another. We had another one come in.
Okay.
So
we're not going to say. I held.
Yeah, we're not going to say anything about an object that we don't agree with, that we don't believe in.
Oh, is she a little one?
Yeah, a little one in a box. Yeah.
I'm just looking at
she's in front of us.
She's right in front of us.
Is she? Yeah, because I held her and got certain images, and I got a bit confused because I showed something and then it changed slightly. And I think I know why I was showing the first thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about understanding what you're getting, and that was a bit. Oh well, I've seen this one, and then straight away it changed to something else. But I know why what it was telling me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
but
weird,
thanks for the comment, Mandy.
Hey.
Thanks for the comment, Mandy. Yes, and we are honest.
Oh, definitely. Eric Thompson always tries to learn and explore.
Yeah.
Andy Tom, we had one person who made things up on the spur of the moment until he got caught out and barred from the group.
Yeah.
Eric, I want to go on your journey. Well, you can get a Roku stick and you're all right, Eric.
Yeah, Eric's been watching the. He used to watch the Demon Connections live.
Oh, awesome. Andy, real is what we really want and need.
Yeah.
Eric, not only that, spirits like to swear too. Yeah. How many times have you gone to a location and they've gone, F off basically, haven't they? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually at the investigators. Eric says, prove to me they don't exist.
Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's the way to look at it, isn't it?
Way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Thompson is going to be living in Edinburgh. Hey, you've decided. That's cool. Jeanette, I had someone tap me on the shoulder twice, turned around to talk to them, and no one was there. That was great. It is great, isn't it? But it's a bit weird because he's a creepy bloke, apparently. So, yeah, he does a lot of that
Here
sort
at
of
the
thing.
centre? Was it here at the centre?
No, it was Derby Jail.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They know he's got a name George, and you've got a creepy one like that called George as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird, but it's the same name. Won't be the same one. Eileen never deals any sort of the protection stuff. Don't fear spirit and don't act disrespectfully. I don't need protection against something I have no fear of. I like
Very
that.
true.
Yeah. Also says she uses boards a lot, never anything bad. Too much bad telly and histrionics.
Yeah.
Eric, telling you watch Parasense. You watch it on Amazon right now. Scientific proof of touch by spirit. It's an interesting one. Might watch that. Eileen, everyone's opinion is valid, even if you don't agree. Opinions that. Andy Tom, there's no right or wrong in the paranormal field. We're all learning as we go.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah. Charles Rudd says Neil the Abominator.
Oh, I like that.
That's a cool one, isn't it?
I like that one. I'm going to remember that one.
And Eric says, he liked one of the demon files because he thought similarities between certain things were uncanny. But yeah, so everybody get your acoustics. Tune in from 6 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got different time zone out there in the US and wherever you are in the world. But thanks for watching, everyone, and thank you, Neil and Jane, for your time.
Well,
especially when Neil's lost time editing. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm editing now till I've got to pick Julie's son up from the airport at 12 o'clock. Then I'm doing a US show at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Oh, wow. Awesome.
In between,
so
editing.
Oh, cheers, Janet. Janet says it's great chat. So, which show are you on?
Don't ask me things like that.
Oh, okay. I'll share it on the page anyway. Well, not 3 o'clock
away. I shared it earlier. I can't remember, to be honest.
Andy says, good luck.
It's actually streamed live on Roku, so.
Oh, wow. Awesome. That's brilliant.
So you're going to watch yourself on the telly while you're doing it?
Well, I could do, couldn't I?
Oh, God, no. That'd be distracting, wouldn't it?
What, seeing me on big screen?
Yeah, be multitasking. She'll be answering the last question and she's talking about a new one.
I will be. I'll be like a psychic, wouldn't I?
Awesome. But thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for joining in the discussion, and big thank you, Neil and Jane, and good luck on the new channel. It sounds brilliant. And yeah, I'll go to Amazon and order a stick. If I can work it on my telly, I don't know. But yeah, take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye. See you. Bye.